Pentimento, noun, plural. Painting. The presence or emergence of earlier images, forms or strokes that have been changed and painted over. Nyt tiedätte mitä se tarkoittaa. Tässä on vähän tämmönen kokeellisempi striimi. Mä en tiedä pelaanko tästä peliä kokonaan striimissä. Katsotaan, koska tää nyt on vähän erilainen peli kuin mitä mä yleensä oon striimannut. Siinä mielessä, että tässä on aika paljon dialogia, mitä ei ole puhuttu ääneen. Ja katsotaan miltä tuntuisi tätä striimata. Eilen just sopivasti pelasin. Vihdoinkin pelasin Fallout New Vegasin läpi. Joka on siis Josh Sawyrin tuottava peli myöskin. Joka on myös Pentimentin takana. Tämmönen sovelias yhteys löytyy. Ihan sattumaa kyllä. Oli tää Pentiment. Pentimenttikin mielessä jo pidempään on pari kuukautta tää ollut. Vähän niinku ladattuna piippuun, kun vaan saa striimattua. Ja no, tänään on se päivä. Aloitetaan. Siis valitsin vielä tuon oikein ikkunan. Ehkä toimii paremmin. Game uses stylized fonts and writing effects that may be difficult for some readers. Joo, enkä mä käytän noita tyyliteltyjä. The abbot said to me, Andreas. Isn't that much earlier than you were expecting? Yes, he had told me I had until the Ides of May. asshole, and he's not going to pay you anymore, is he? He has no appreciation for the cost of your sweat. The yield of labor should not be measured in coin, but in personal satisfaction and self-improvement. Personal satisfaction doesn't put much food on the table, though, does it? How did you reply to the about, Andreas? And told him it would be done when it was done, sometime before the Ides of May. That's what I like to hear. What's he going to do? Find someone else to finish your work before May? It's true, making enemies with the abbot may not be wise, but he needs your work. And the doing of the work is its only virtue, regardless of what the abbot may think. Despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece. And then you will return to Nuremberg, where a marriage and your new life as master await you. Mä pitäisi alleviivata tuollaisella sellaisia sanoja, mistä saa lisätietoa. Selected. Nuremberg, free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, major trade center and city of arts, including printing. Yes, marriage to someone he has never met, hardly ideal. Well, the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Oh Jesus, then you should definitely get married. Is she pretty at least? The small portrait they sent was lovely, but we artists can be flatterers. It is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. True, Your Majesty. Will you visit us again soon? Hopefully, but it's out of my control, Your Majesty. As are many things. Trust in Providence. Robian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, Your Majesty. Until next time, Andreas. Until next time, Your Majesty. Ei no meitä tuoda fools, Andreas. I never do. At least I would if they'd stop stepping on my feet. Watch where you're going. Aha, they're fools, Andreas. No point in trying to teach them anything. I know old John wants you to endure the abbot shit, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let him run you ragged, boy. He's just trying to keep order in the abbey. I'm an outsider. Right, an outsider he brought. If he wants your work, he has to deal with you as you are. Would you please... I give up. Take me home, Chromian. As you wish, Andreas. Good morning, Ursula. Go home, Andrew. Time to get up. The Baron, April 1580. Few more pages. Prime R6. Another day, another few pages for the abbot and hopefully a few for myself. I need to get across town and head up to the abbey so I can start walk at the scriptorium. Brother Piero of Verona, artist of Chiarsau Abbey, known for his kindness and helpful nature. Brother Piero is also respected as a master painter, specializing in works of extraordinary color. Joo, tuo Castillo. The Picatrix, Key of Solomon, the Heptameron. Prior Ferenc keeps giving me all these books to read. Ja tossa olisi selittänyt siitä mitä. Prior Ferenc of Pex. Originally from Hungary, Ferenc is the prior of Kiersau Abbey and is responsible for running the scriptorium, known for his interest in esoteric books. Kirjassa kyllä tuo fontti aika nihkeä. I really should clean this up. Laulat nämä kontrollit. Go to bed. I'm not tired yet. Perhaps after compline. Monastic hour corresponding to 8 p.m., one of the little hours of prayer. The monks and nuns retire to their dormitories shortly afterward. Andrea! Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, actually, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the abbey, so I packaged you some food. Almonds, cheese and some of the rye you like from the elements. Otto wanted me to ask you to join him for dinner at the abbey. Otto stopped by. Yes, around dawn. Here you are, Andreas. Mr. Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, could it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? And if we raised it by 2 groschen? A type of thick silver coin minted throughout the Holy Roman Empire. Groschen are typically worth 12 pfennigs, but may be minted at different values. I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the abbey. 2 months behind. Peter's losing his hair over it, even more than usual, I mean. Well, wait, is taxes unexpected? Peter says our taxes didn't go up for years, but ever since we've been married, it's just gone up and up. It used to be that if we didn't have the money, we could make payment in kind with some of our crops. The abbot stopped that last year. Now, if we don't get good price from the miller, it's hard to give the abbey its share. I know it's not your problem, Andreas, but Peter is too proud to ask you himself. Can you find it in your heart to help us out? I suppose that's not out of the question. Yes, I think I can manage that. We're so grateful, truly, Andreas. I apologize again for asking. It's just awful to be stuck in such a position. Peter works hard, but it just never seems like it's enough. Saint Luke bless you for helping us out. Saint Luke, Christian evangelist and patron saint of artists and physicians, often represented by a winged bull. Speaking of Saint Luke, how is your masterpiece coming along? It's been 2 months now, hasn't it? Slowly, I'm afraid. Most of the days are spent doing work for the abbey. It's only during the divine office that Prior Ferenc allows me to work on my masterpiece. Divine office, the prayer times observed by all Christian monastic orders. Monks and nuns pray together 7 times a day and once at night, as dictated by the rule of Saint Benedict. A reasonable restriction, but slow going. The city council doesn't require it to become a master. I'm making it mostly to show clients and for my own sake. And yes, when I do finish, I will go back to Nuremberg, where I will marry and open a workshop of my own. From Nuremberg to a university and now traveling the world as an artist. What a life you have ahead of you, Master Andreas. Yes, I suppose it does feel like I'm starting a new chapter in my life after some wandering. It must be rather frightening, starting all over again. It is, but I know now that this is what I want to do. Not many people get to decide that. Certainly not anyone in Crossen. Doesn't. Anyway, I don't know anything about art, but I've seen you sketching such beautiful things in your little book. Your masterpiece must be wonderful. It's getting that. Art poor will get you all the way. That's what my father used to say. God rest his soul. Now I have to get back to my own work. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas, and we'll see you after Vespers for supper. Vespers, monastic hour at dusk. One of the major prayer hours. It is followed by supper. Not tonight, but thank you. Lars Drucker invited me over for supper. Of course, please say hello to the Druckers for us. Of course. Until later, Clara. Paljon uusia nimiä tuli. Clara Gärtnerin, second wife of Peter Gärtner, mother of Ursula, known for her kindness and her concern for her husband's health. Klaus Drucker. Klaus Drucker is the testing ground printer. Husband to his wife Mary and father to Berthold. Although tasting is an unusual place for a printing press, he does brisk trade with pilgrims and other travelers on the Imperial Road. Eva Gärtnerin, daughter of Peter Gärtner and his late wife Christine. Eva was largely raised by her brother and father. Otto Zimmermann, town carpenter, son of old Otto, known for his dislike of the abbey, especially Father Gurnet. Peter Gurtner, husband of Clara, father of Big George, Eva and Ursula, known for his temper and his dislike of the abbey, and Lenhard Müller. Hello, Andreas. Andreas? Morning, Andreas. Morning, Big Jerk. How's it going? You walking today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. He hit a big rock with a plow and it took me Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right, thank God for Sundays. Smells like a storm's coming now. Huh, just Belfast. Smells like fresh alpine air to me. You've been traveling too much. Where was it to spend your wanderjahr before you came to Tussin? Tussin? Mikä opilla asut? Opitte kylän nimeä. Wanderjahr. Wandering years, during which the journeyman artist of craftsman travels far and wide to improve their skills. Lautu Italiassa. Andreas knows Italian, a little Greek, and can reference cultural touchstones from Florence, Venice, and Milan. Italy, Florence for a while, but Venice and Milan as well. Milan, one of the largest cities in Europe. Milan was once a major city-state in the Italian peninsula before becoming part of the Spanish Habsburg Empire. It is an economic and cultural power due to its position along central trade routes. Florence, home to the powerful Medici family who ruled the city for centuries. Florence is known for its artistic patronage, hosting artists and thinkers including Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Botticelli, and Machiavelli. Venice, one of the most powerful republics on the Italian peninsula, sitting on the northwest coast of the Adriatic Sea. Venice is a major center for commerce and art in southern Europe. Italy, no wonder your senses are dull. You've been down there too long. Spend enough time in those mountains and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will that take? 10, 15 years. I don't think I have that long, Big Jerk. What did you spend all that time in Italy doing anyway? Other than art, I mean. Edollisesti kyllä houkuttaa. Räpskälien. Ehkä baladörtte. Bookworm. Andreas spends all of his non-working free time finding and reading as many books as he possibly can. Reading mostly, talking about books. I couldn't get enough of it. Venice is filled with incredible printers. Florence continues to illuminate beautiful manuscripts. And The books they produce are treasures, everyone. I didn't realize that books meant that much to you. I've seen Father Thomas' Bible and a few other books. I haven't had much use for reading, though. Anyway, I have to get going. Alright, let's go! That's already acting like I'm taking too long, even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andreas. Until later. God bless you. Andreas. Oh, yes, Andreas. This weather's been god awful. This town's gone to shit since my days. I don't think the townsfolk can do much about the weather. Eh? Well, of course they wouldn't know how to do anything now. No one follows the old ways anymore. The old Abbot didn't bother us much about our customs. He didn't mind if we left a little offering to Bertha to keep the skies clear, the weather fair. Bertha, pagan goddess of the Alps, associated with animals and spinning wool. She is still invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria and Swabia. Matthias knew that Christ was in our hearts, even if the White Lady's name was on our lips. Saint Moritz. Saint Moritz is the patron saint of Tassin. Legend states that he was the Egyptian-born commander of a Roman legion who converted to Christianity. They were all martyred for their faith. His hand is a relic in Kiersan's shrine. You think the spirits have been following the weather since no one follows the customs anymore? Sharper than you look, eh? The Saints were the first to watch over Tassin. But I knew that. Old Granny Kemper knew that. Granny Kemper, the last husband of Ottilia. Not bastard about me like it, but some of us keep the traditions alive. What do these traditions entail? When you get up in the night to take a piss, go around the right side of the house and never go back the same way. That way the witches don't steal your soul. Oh, how interesting. I should go. Alright, God bless you. Oh, Andreas, good time. Do you have a moment to lend me a hand? Of course. Wonderful, I got too many irons in the fire. Or rather, horseshoes. I miscount how many I put in, now I need a hand, or else they'll overheat and I won't be able to walk the metal. Here, take the shoe into tongs. Put the hot part of the shoe on the anvil and I'll hit it with the hammer. Good, next one. Ah, well done, sir. Short one. Thanks for the help, Andres. I don't know what I was thinking doing all of those at once. Sure would be nice to have someone to help me out here every day. Don't look at me, painting is hard enough. Ha, that it is. Anyway, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'll see you and Otto up by the Abbey guest house for dinner. Until then. Tänne lisää. Ihmisiä kyllä. Henry Schmidt. The Tasting Town Blacksmith. Henry's walks near the town center most days. Bill Peter Gardner. The elderly father of Peter Gardner. Bill Peter is perpetually on death's door but continues to walk the field in spite of it. He is the oldest man in town. Lawrence Rethagel. Rothvogel? Baron of Rothvogel from near Worms. Patron of Kiersau Abbey. Lover of books and art. Niklaus Häberle. Swabian servant of Lawrence Rothvogel. Father Thomas Brecher. Town priest for tasting. Tends to his flock at Our Lady of the Labyrinth. Rest of Scala. Enter Smith's smithy. It's much smaller than the one he uses Dabby. Se on tie tukossa. Marty, please, can you give me a hand here? Oh yeah, well, I'm keeping an eye on them. It looks a lot like standing there doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sake, help your cousin. Morning address. Excuse us, one of the fence rails fell off. Well, and sheep started hopping it. Oh, excuse me. I'll try to stay out of your way. Thanks, it'll probably take an hour or two to track them all down at this rate. Blood sacrament. Damn it, Veronica, what did I say about blasphemy? Sorry, Mom. Oh, look, there's something going on up in this Steinauer's place. What's that other horse? Looks rich. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky is giving her an earful. Christ, I haven't seen Lucky that walked up since Peter and Clara's wedding, when Johan pulled his hand pants down. Two of my men stayed out. You don't want to feel the strength behind Stolmason's anger. Do you think he's noble? He looks really rich. God damn it, Martin, stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hattie? Behave yourself, don't you have enough to deal with right now? Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get this sheep under control. Of course. See you later. Don't work too hard, Martin. Johannes, Johann Bauer. Brother of Franz Bauer. Husband of Hedy, father of Veronica and Hans. Johann is friendly with most of the families in town, but is determined to expand his farm. Linhard Lucky Steinauer. Stonemason of Thespian, husband of Agnes, father of Brigitta, known for his great strength. Martin Bauer, son of Franz and Kat Bauer, husband of Brigitta, father of Wolf, known for his churlish youth and petty theft. Hedwig Hedy Bogren, wife of Johann Bauer, mother of Veronica and Hans. Townsfolk like Hedy, but she is known for being loud and brash and for drinking too much, which makes her louder and even more brash. Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Morning, Klaus. Another day at Abbey, another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. Still coming by for supper tonight. Mary and Bert would love to see you. We really need to see this new Sputkas. I have for an Italian edition of Till Eulenspiegel. Till Eulenspiegel, the titular character of a popular 15th century book. Till is a prankster, continually exposing the vices and hypocrisy of others. He is also quite skilled at tricking people into smelling, touching, or eating his excrement. I didn't realize Father Thomas let you print books in Italian. Come on, Andreas, it's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from... Adventure stories of questionable moral repute. You don't mind those so much, actually. Oh. As long as they don't get too carnal. Ooh. So, supper tonight after Vespers? Of course, thank you. Great, I'll tell Mary and Bert are coming. See you then. See you later. God bless Vastavalar. I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father, but I'm running late to the Abbey. It's no problem if you don't have time for me today, but the question is, will you have time for the Lord on Sunday? You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? Yes, I apologize, Father Thomas. I promise you I'll make it this Sunday. You don't have to make a promise to me, but our salvation is contingent on... Oh my, what a pleasant day to receive such an illustrious visitor. Master Mela, this is Lorenz, Baron of Rothvogel, great lord from the countryside near Worms. Worms, prosperous imperial free city in the western part of the empire, located on the Rhine River. Worms has been the site of many imperial diets. Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbors were as welcome. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck and it was terribly dull. Innsbruck, capital of the Austrian county of Tyrol and a major stop on the Imperial Road connecting Italy and Bavaria. It is the closest major city to Kiersau Abbey and Tassing. Notably, it was also the site of witch trials in 1485. I mean, it has a certain charm common to those Alpine cities, but the place was crawling with nobles and emperor's diet. Diet. An imperial diet is an assembly of 3 colleges of the imperial estates of the Holy Roman Empire. Prince Electors, the princes and dukes, the representatives of the imperial cities. They meet to deliberate on matters of importance to the empire. Emperor, what's he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly, but he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I didn't want to bother him or the painter. How was Venice, my lord? I lived there only a few years ago. Oh, fascinating. Well, the city's Jews now live in their own quarter in the north. The city's artists are still producing wonderful work. Titian in particular is a god. No offense, father. Of course. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck and I decided right ahead to make a visit to Kiersa. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, because Father Matthias, abbot of Kiersa before Father Gernot, widely respected by the monks and nuns as well as the people of Tassin, known for his kindness and his love of books. A great loss for the abbey and for us all. Indeed, my good father and I recently came across a copy of the Historia... Tassiae he was reading during my last visit. Historia Tassiae. An account of the early history of Tassin, Kiersa's previous abbot. Father Matthias had a copy. Baron Rotvogel brought another to the abbey as a gift. Father Matthias was hoping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of a scandal. Ah, yes. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Tastings past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the abbey through Father Gernot and I have come to check on its progress. Oh, my lord, if you have come to see your manuscript, you should speak with young Master Ballard here. It is an honor to meet you, my lord. Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months he is also helping with the abbey's scriptorium. Scriptorium, a room for writing, illustrating and illuminating manuscripts. Though typically associated with monasteries, they have disappeared from almost all abbeys by the 16th century. A Nuremberg artist walking in an abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk, Andreas, I must know the story. Of course, my lord, it would be an honor. Wonderful, it's so rare to find someone in the countryside who knows anything about art. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the abbey tonight, I'm inviting you to the abbot's table. Did the abbot invite me? Oh, don't worry about it, Father, just show up after Vespers. What is she going to do? Refuse us? Excellent. We will see you then. Miklas, I am dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses to the abbey's guest house. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mahler. I'll meet you there. At once, my lord. Well then, a journeyman from Nuremberg. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little old to not yet be a master. Are you unmarried? No, I'm not married, but in truth I came to my vocation later than my father and brothers. I was in university for a number of years at Erfurt. Erfurt is one of the most popular cities in the empire and is located near its heart. It has been home to respected universities since 1379 and is a center for humanist thought. Erfurt, wonderful, the same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? Tremendous mind. Martin Luther, priest and professor of theology at the University of Wittenberg, controversial for his opinions on the Church's sale of indulgences to forgive sin, which were recently published and distributed throughout the empire. He says things about the Church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him, do you? You must tell me. No, he was a few years ahead of me. Still, his ideas do seem fascinating. I agree wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him, if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. Perhaps they have even read his list of 95 theses against the Church. 95 theses, a list of propositions against the Church's practice of selling indulgences for the remission of sin. It was written in 1517 by Martin Luther. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gernot does not disappoint in that regard. But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies. Forgive me, Baron, but did you attend university? You seem very well educated. Ha! No, my family is merely wealthy enough to have provided me with all the books and tutors a child could dream of. I love all knowledge, from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everyone in between and yet to come. Aristotle, Greek philosopher and student of Plato, renowned as a polymath, he wrote on a wide variety of subjects. His work is extensively cited by current scholars, and even more work is attributed to him than he could have ever written. Cicero, statesman, scholar, lawyer, and renowned orator of the late Roman Republic. He is revered both for his contributions to Latin literature and his skill at rhetoric. Ficino. Marsilio Ficino was a 15th century Italian priest and humanist who was one of the leading figures of the Italian Renaissance. He is well known for his translations of the works of Plato into Latin. Erasmus. Erasmus of Rotterdam, a Dutch priest and philosopher who is preeminent among northern humanists. He is known for his works in Latin and Greek as well as his calls for reform within the Church. You may have misjudged the Baron. It seems he is as well read as any university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with a well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? No, I didn't. On your master's degree. I started working towards the doctorate, but didn't finish. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what was your area of study? Medicine. Andreas is familiar with the basics of human biology, medicine and illness. All things medical, studying the latest and greatest texts coming out of Italy. Yes, the Italians continue to innovate in that area. Extraordinary, really. Fascinating work. Who knows what secrets we may learn about the human body in the decades to come.
You, if I had any faith, I would have prayed you'd never show your face here again. Curse you, Lawrence Rotvogel. Ersta's dogs tearing you to pieces would be too kind of fate.
These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think?
What was that about?
Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old crowd will probably be dead. Well, what of your early time in university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium, yes? Trivium and Quadrivium. Quadrivium. The Trivium and Quadrivium represent the lower and upper divisions of a classic liberal arts university education. Latin grammar, logic and rhetoric form the Trivium. Arithmetic, geometry, music and astronomy form the Quadrivium. Do you have a favorite subject? Okkultisti olisi aika seksy. Mutta... Mä otan häväisen ööti. Sopii sen lääketieteen kanssa yhteen. Andreas knows a great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies and their movement. He is also familiar with various plants and animals from study and personal experience. While I'm studying the natural world, my lord, not the heavens above and the wild spaces around us. Formerly I studied as much astronomy as I could. It's incredible how much we've learned from both the Arabs and the Greeks. True, but even now we continue to discover more about what we can see within the celestial sphere. What began as pagan myths to explain our place in the world may help us understand our place in the heavens. And this may seem foolish, but I spent a lot of time in the wilderness learning about plants and animals. Really? The libraries of Earthfort not have enough herbals to satisfy your curiosity? I don't mean to malign our most august Greek and Roman authors, but the Materia Medica was written before the coming of Christ. The Materia Medica, a pharmacopoeia, or a book for creating compound medicines written by Pedanius Dioscorides, a Greek physician and botanist who was employed in the Roman army. The 5-volume text has been a primary source of botanical information for centuries. Surely there is more than we can learn about plants, insects and animals by observing them in nature. And beyond that I simply have a love for wild places. Oh, while I do not share your academic interest in nature, I must admit that I sometimes enjoy the solitude of a walk in the woods. And your other studies? Was there anything else you excelled at? Tätä logiikka. Logician. Andreas instinctively thinks through the implication of information as he receives it. He is adept at spatial analysis and can easily perform complicated calculations in his head. Logic, geometry and arithmetic. Quite interesting for an artist. Was Aristotle's organon the foundation of your study? Yes, the organon for logic and Euclid's elements for geometry, but the past few centuries have yielded wonderful new texts on logic. Euclid, a mathematician of ancient Alexandria. He is recognized as the father of geometry and is most well known for his Book of Elements, the foundation of all university education on geometry. Peter Abelard provided the foundation of scholastic philosophy and established the primacy of Aristotle's work. Peter Abelard, 12th century French teacher, philosopher and theologian. He is known for his philosophical work in logic and his theological work in atonement theory. He is also remembered for his love affair with his student, the renowned Benedictine nun, abbess and scholar Heloise de Argentoul. Jonka lausuu varmasti ihan päin helvetti. The Englishman William of Ockham gave us the Summa Logicae, arguing nominalism against Platonic realism. William of Ockham, 15th and 14th century English Franciscan philosopher and theologian, known for his commentaries on Peter Abelard's 4 books of sentences, his defense of apostolic poverty, and his writings on faith and reason. And of course Thomas Aquinas gave us the tools to employ both faith and reason in the pursuit of truth. Thomas Aquinas, an immensely influential philosopher, theologian, and jurist in the tradition of scholasticism. All monks are friars, of course. A great deal of work to force Aristotle to fit within the Church's vision of truth. Is that so wrong? I question that these great men should have had to wrestle logic into what the Church established by fiat and force. Oh, there's the Abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know Kiersan at all? My family have been patrons of Kiersau for, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago I heard that Kiersau still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most of manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. Well, there's not much left of it these days. 2 old men, a young scribe, and me. Oh well, perhaps it is nostalgia that brings me back here. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Gernot a year ago. I thought I would stop by and check on its progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book for 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no, I do know the artist well, the venerable brother Piero. How venerable? He still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color. Then I very much look forward to seeing it. Klaus, tend to the horses and the baggage. I'm heading up to the Abbey.
Yes, my lord.
Well, let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Nuns. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. Benedictine. Founded in the 6th century, the Benedictines are a Christian monastic order that observes vows of obedience, poverty, chastity, and stability under the rule of Saint Benedict of Nursa. The church closed most of them centuries ago. But then, Gersau is a place out of time in more ways than one. Why were they closed? Monks and nuns living side by side cannot behave themselves. I don't blame them though, the church shouldn't either, it's just human nature after all. Ah, you must be Father Gernot. I am Lawrence, Baron of... Yes, the Baron of Rothvogel. So wonderful to have you here again. We actually did meet on your last visit. Ah, if you say so. I'm not good with remembering faces. Please forgive me, my lord, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Yes, I know, but I rode ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Yes, I mean, no. It's no trouble. Did you want to see it now? Oh, wait a moment. I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? Yes, certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium now. Book of Hours, a type of illuminated manuscript. that contains an abbreviated form of the prayers for the divine office in addition to other religious texts. Most are relatively plain, but wealthy patrons often commission lavish examples with elaborate illustrations. Of course, Father, I'm eager to get to work. Then get to work. Shit, I should have asked him about an advance for Curtin's taxes. Maybe I could just convince Brother Matthew to pay me early. Find a way to get paid. A6. I need to find a way to get an advance from the Abbey so I can help the gardeners pay their taxes. Father Garnet might be receptive to negotiation for the funds. I need to approach the subject carefully and make it worth his while. I could speak with Brother Matthew about an early payment for my manuscript. Brother Matthew of New Chateau. Swiss sacristan of Kershaw Abbey, responsible for maintaining the sacristy, the Abbey's treasury, and for assisting the Father Garnet during the liturgy of hours. Sister Matilda of Kempton. Cellarer for the nuns of Kershaw Abbey, walks often in the convent garden. Ottilia, widow Kemperin, farmer, widow of Rannick Kemperin, lost her home after the death of her husband. Veronica Bauerin, daughter of Johann and Hedy Bauer, sister of Hans, close friends with Brigitta Bauerin. Bohemian sister is Dina of Tabor. Bohemian nun, assistant to Sister Illuminata in the library. She has a markedly impious attitude towards life in Kiersau. Berthold Drucker, son of Klaus and Mary Drucker. Mother Cecilia of Augsburg. Prioress of Kiersau Abbey and responsible for all the Abbey's nuns. Like all of Kiersau's prioresses, Cecilia was once the Abbey's librarian. Father Garnet of Munich, abbot of Kershaw Abbey. Father Garnet replaced the former highly beloved abbot, Father Matthias. Garnet is known in the Abbey as a disciplinarian and in the town as a harsh landlord. He is struggling to fund the Abbey, as the scriptorium no longer generates much money. Mary Druckeren, blockcutter and typecaster. Wife of Klaus, mother of Berthold. Siinä taas olla kaikki. On iso paikka. No, katsotaan mitä täältä löytyy.
Imolen Christiani, Agnus redenit oves, Christus innocens Patri, reconciliavit.
God bless you, Andreas. As your voice yet recovered from Easter, was Rüdiger. Oh yes, it was a bit of a strain, but worth the sacrifice. Well, if the Lord could give us his all on Easter. Exactly. Have a good day in the scriptorium. Have a good day singing.
Peccatores, mors ad vita duello,
God bless you, Andreas. How's the sacristy today, Matthew? The same as yesterday. Does my vocation seem silly to you, Master Mahler? Oh, I was just being frank. Then go in peace, friend, knowing that the Abbey's treasures are secure for another day. God be with you.
One more thing, I have a favor to ask you.
Yes, Andreas?
I was hoping you could give me my pay for the latest manuscript early.
This isn't part of the agreement you made with Father Gernot. You'll be paid on the completion of each additional manuscript you eliminate, not before.
I have a few pages left, Brother Matthew. I'll finish them in the next few days anyway.
Then I think you can wait a few days to collect your wages. This abbey runs through mutual agreements, not haphazard payments. Breaking such contracts would cause undue trouble not only for Kiersau, but for Tassing as well.
Is that why Father Abbot has increased the taxes on the Gärtners?
What is this about, Andreas?
The Gärtners have asked me for their rent early, so they can pay their taxes to the Abbey.
I see. Very well. Do not ask this of me again, Andreas Mahler. Here you are. I shall note this with Father Gernot and Prior of Ferring.
Thank you, Brother Matthew.
God bless you, Andreas.
Alright, now that I got my payment, I can give Clara the rent early. I'll give it to her directly to make sure she receives it. I managed to convince Brother Matthew to pay me early for my manuscript. Luckily I didn't need to convince the abbot. I should get the money to Clara. Brother Rüdegar of Töls, cantor for the monks of Kiersau Abbey, known for his fine singing voice. Se skriptoriumia nyt sitten löytää. Kautta. Päästään sinne fiksuuta. Joo, mä kun tän haluan. I think. Ei oo kyllä joo. Ja se mä pääsen suoraan tänne. Tuolta kirkostakin. Yes, God bless you. So good to see you. Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. I don't like this weather. My balls ache. It wears a always going. Big Jerk Gerda says that if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. But the Adok has been here long enough that we can always smell him coming. Do not forget, brother Gear, the fate of the youths who cheered the aged prophet Elisha outside of Bethel. Are you comparing yourself to a prophet, brother Adok? I am comparing you to an imperent youth from the Lord in his ineffable wisdom may choose to strike down. Well, everyone seems quite lively. I suppose that means Prior Ferrag is not overseeing us today. He was here, but then he heard Lorenz Rotvogel had arrived and he hurried out like a little mouse. Ferrag is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rotvogel. It's pathetic. The faint kindness to Father Abbot and our prior order to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful. Oh no. Baron Rotvogel? His manuscript? I just realized that he will want to see his manuscript. How silly of me. Of course. That's why he's visiting. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you wouldn't need to worry so much about patrons' visits. Yeah, someday you will stand where Piero is and a young monk will stand where you are now. Anyway, what's the problem? The Baron is just one client. He has to wait like anyone else. And yes, Baron Rotvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including the Prince Bishop of Freising. Prince Bishop of Freising. Religious and secular ruler of the scattered territories in the Holy Roman Empire, including the lands containing Tussing and Kierson Abbey. Kierson is already out of favor. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. Well, if Prior Ferring is in here, I'm going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. Oh, that's right. I need to reference the Inder Maur manuscript. Inder Maur, a prominent family of the Swiss Confederacy and Austria. What do you want, Andreas? The book, the Inder Maur manuscript, the Book of Hours. Oh, hair looks messy today. Did you get enough sleep? Could I just get the book? That's all that way upstairs. Can't you get by without it? I'm sorry, but I really can't. I need to reference it for my work. Really? My feet hurt and the stairs are so steep. I'm just going to ask Illuminata to get it. Sister Illuminata? Andreas needs his help finding a book and I don't know where it is. Yes. Sister Illuminata, I'd like to borrow the Inder Maur manuscript, Book of Hours. Yes, I overheard. Yeah, please return it promptly. Andreas, may I see how your masterpiece is coming? Of course, your opinion is always welcome. Yes, the composition is lovely. There is a joyful spirit in the arrangement of the figures. The contrast of colors is also quite nice. Rich and beautiful on their own, but not overpowering the scene. Is that all? It's an excellent interpretation of someone else's work. What do you mean? It's all my work.
My son, you're copying the illustration from the Indermar manuscript almost exactly. So, what's wrong with that? Haven't I improved on it? Aesthetically, yes, it's wonderful, but I feel you have not given much thought to what it represents. It's November. In November, we show peasants leading the pigs into the forest to forage an acorns before the slaughter. Whereas the peasants here are no longer allowed to forage acorns in the forest. Many great lords and abbots across the empire have forbidden it, even Father Gernot. What difference does it make? This is the way November is painted. But it is not the way November is. Art is illusion, storytelling, but in their most sublime form, these images illuminate a path to truth. It's most important to me that my clients are happy. They would pay me for the truth. Yes, but with God's grace, this book of ours will outlive us all. What will it say to those who see it in a future generation, centuries beyond our comprehension? Some will gaze deep into your lines and paint to seek a deeper meaning. What will they find? But you need not listen to my opinions, they are just the thoughts of one old monk. There is no place for the monastic scriptoria anymore. In truth, this room is a place out of time. Does that make you sad? I admit I am still fond of the old styles of lettering illumination, but even in my youth I knew it could not last. The creation of books, of art, is no longer the province of monasteries. So be it. More people will be able to write, more will be able to read, and in so doing, be brought to truth. I think there will always be a place for artists like you and Brother Adok. And Brother Guy. It's kind of you to say so, Andres, but you need not be concerned for me. I have lived a long life and I am happy to have served the Lord. When he calls for me, I am ready. Oh, where's the time gone? It is already Thurs. Thurs. Monastic hour corresponding to 9 AM, one of the little hours of prayer. Thurs precedes Mass and the chapter meeting. Too much talk, I must ask forgiveness for not honoring the rule. The rule of Saint Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under the guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life. Until later, Andreas. Until later. Alkaa tuntua kurkussa tää ääneen lukeminen. What's going on in here? Andreas, what was that noise? Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Illuminata. I knocked a ball of paint on the floor. But then Prior Farron came and wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed and left. He was in such a hurry, I don't think he even noticed me. He was slamming book shut? Prior Fennec should know better than that. Some of these manuscripts are quite delicate.
I fully agree. Delicate or not, all books should be treated with the utmost care. Many contain precious wisdom that can aid you. Even the unenlightened in growing closer to God. They should be protected and cared for. Witches by books should not be taken out of the library unless it is necessary for divine reading or work in the scriptorium. Divine reading. Lectio Divina is the thoughtful reading of and meditation on scripture. The practice leads to prayer and contemplation. It is a daily part of life in Benedictine communities. Chronica Clara, the Clear Chronicle, a history of the universe from creation to 1082, written by the Irish monk Marianus Scotus. Are you still mad at me for borrowing the Chronica Clara? No, anger is not an appropriate response for a nun. But the fact remains that you tricked me into giving you that book for no valid reason. Not valid? Is it not valid to want to see the work of one of the great Irish scribes? One who wrote masterworks that even now grace libraries of Cologne, Fulda and Mainz? Cologne, large, powerful, free imperial city on the river Rhine. It is a major hub for commerce between Italy and the Netherlands. It is also a popular site for pilgrims, as its cathedral contains relics of the three wise men, represented as crowns on their arms. Fulda, a town built around an old Benedictine abbey near the center of the empire. Fulda's abbots are imperial princes and wield great power. Mainz. Located on the Rhine River, Mainz is the home of the Archbishop of Mainz, an elector of the Holy Roman Empire, and Primas Germaniae, the Pope's substitute north of the Alps. No, it's not. Not unless it pertains to our work or the abbot permits it. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, what's all this fuss about Lawrence Rothvogel? Why is Prior Ferenc so nervous? Lawrence, I didn't know you were familiar enough with the man to use his Christian name. Anyway, I haven't dealt with him personally, but the Prior and Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years. And he paid enough to help the Abbey when we needed it. Like what? What did he buy? I can't remember. You know, I have my own responsibilities to attend to. How about this, Andreas? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron. Of course, I'll help you in any way I can. Thank you, it's for the good of the Abbey. Where should I begin? Out there, where you and your cohort have helped us carelessly strew the books around the scriptorium. I will tell you what books I'm looking for, find them and return them to me. The first books are 2 volumes of the Aeneid. Aeneid, a poetic epic telling the legend of Aeneas, a heroic Trojan who struggles to reconcile his personal desires with his destiny to found Rome. It was written in the 1st century BC by the Roman poet Virgil. Reddish covers 14 inches by 10 inches, 3 inches thick. Innsbruck inches or Nuremberg inches? What? Nuremberg inches are... What color covers again? Reddish. Oh, I know the ones. They're among Pierre's favorites. He keeps them by my desk. They are not his to keep. There's a fair amount of wear on this, I hope you don't mind. Those volumes were old even when Pierre started to make the copies. How long ago was that? 3 years. The Aeneid is not one of my favorite studies, but I understand why it appeals to Piero. Venus shows his duty to the gods over his lover Dido.
Do you think Aeneas' sense of duty appeals to Piero? We all have our vocations, but Piero takes it more seriously than most of the others in this abbey. You clearly take your chosen vocation seriously. Andreas, I didn't have a choice in my vocation. Few women do. True, but that doesn't mean women can take pride in their vocations. In the City of Ladies, Christine de Pizan defended women of all classes by showing their value to society. Christine de Pizan, one of the most renowned female authors of Western Europe, Christine was a court writer for 3 dukes. She is well known for the book of the City of Ladies and the Treasure of the City of Ladies, works that defended women and offered advice to women of all backgrounds. An admirable effort, but even if we do exactly as we are told, we are portrayed as vehicles of sin. Temptresses and seducers by virtue of our sex, even when men are the aggressors. Even in the abbey we must travel in pairs, lest we tempt the brothers, or others. And here in these pages Virgil casts Dido as Aeneas' seducer, though it was the gods that thrust her into his arms. Like Dido, we ordinary women are merely fools in the tales of men. We can never be protagonists of our own stories. No woman is exempt from that, from the empress to a nun. It is our lot. I suppose I understand now why you are not fond of the Aeneid. It's fine poetry, for men. Now, the books, if you please. Thank you. Next, Wretched Gerin. This is printed copy, green cover, diamond pattern. Wretched Gerin, an Italian chivalric romance written by Andrea da Barberino in the early 15th century. The titular character rises from impoverished origins to go on heroic adventures and discover his noble parentage. Originally published as a manuscript, it enjoyed greater success as a printed book. I do not have the size of the ledger, but hopefully the description is enough. I know the one you're talking about. Brother Adak was reading it. The beauty of this book truly belies its ridiculous content. I'm surprised the Abbey owns a copy. You don't, it belongs to Amadea Rusco of Ugano. It's a Venetian edition that's quite valuable. Lugano. Highly contested Swiss market town located in the southwestern Alps. The Dukes of Como and Milan fought for control over it until it was claimed by the Swiss Confederation in 1513. You loaned it to us 5 years ago. It was subsequently lost and the abbot has received 3 letters about it. I've certainly seen the brothers enjoying it. The book is not appropriate reading for Benedictine monks. Baby is sold to pirates, raises a servant and lives a life of adventure, wooing princesses and fighting in tournaments. You forgot the best part. In the end, Gerin learns he has royal blood, the son of a duke. He reigns as a king and dies a pious hermit. What's not to love? Benedictines should be dreaming of reconciliation with our Lord, not lusty adventures. I suppose you're right. It's better suited for knaves like me. It's not my place to reprimand anyone for reading stories, least of all you, Andreas. Still, you must be on guard. Fantasy leads to temptation. Temptation has led to the downfall of many men and women. Sometimes, yes, but books like this, it's all the same type of fantasy, isn't it? To die better than we are born. And what's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a peasant dream of being a king? There is neither Jew or Greek, neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. We may be one in Christ, but we are not equal in this world. It isn't this world you should be concerned with, Andreas. But the book, Andreas, we must return it, or would you like the abbot to receive a fourth letter? I understand. I'd hate to load a book and never get it back. It would be like losing a limb. Well, perhaps a small limb, or my little finger. Regardless of the size and importance of the body part in question, I understand and appreciate it. It's not my goal to deprive the brothers of their joy, but to return Amadea Rusco's property. The book, please. There's only one book left, then you will be freed from bondage. A dark red cover, 8 inches high, 5 inches across, 2 inches thick. What is it? The description should be sufficient. No. Now that I think about it, Guy has always been guarded about this book, like he was hiding it. Very good, please bring it here. What is this anyway? Huh, maybe I should have learned French at some point. What is this? Why are you asking so many questions? Just give it to me. I haven't asked so many questions. I've asked one question twice and you haven't answered me. I have a good reason not to not answer you. Three French bishops condemned the book. All copies were to be burned. Its author shared the same fate. What? Why? I don't know, Andreas. It isn't my place to question the judgment of one bishop, much less 3. And before you ask, no, I haven't read it, but I know it contains dialogue between love and reason. But the book is dangerous. When did the bishops condemn it? 200 years ago. What? Why? Why is it still here? Because Father Matthias loved books, all books. He didn't want to see it destroyed. I can sympathize with him. It's fine, but Father Matthias is gone. It's not my place to question the former abbot's decision, but when Father Gernot learned it was in our possession, he wanted it destroyed. How did Father Gernot even know the book was here? Mother Cecilia made a note of it in the inventory when she was the librarian. Must the book be destroyed? No one even knows that it's here. I do, so do Mother Cecilia and Father Gernot. Well, I refuse to give it to you if all you're going to do is destroy it. What? Why not? What are you going to do with it? Read it and become a French heretic. That's not funny, I'm serious. Give me that book or our deal is forfeit. I won't tell you anything about Baron Rotvogel. Lintujen maailma. I propose a compromise. I will take the book from the abbey, far away. I'll be gone by the time Father Gernot asks about it, and if you like, you can say I stole it. I doubt he'll make a fuss about me stealing a book he wanted destroyed. I don't like this, Andreas. It feels wrong in my heart.
I swear I'll take it far away. It's been out here for years, and besides, how would you have stopped me? I'm trusting you in this, Andreas, against my better judgment. Don't make me regret this. Mountain, Baron Rotvogel. Quickly down, I need to finish up here soon. She may only have time to answer one question, so I should choose carefully. He mentioned finding a copy of Historia Tassiae. He said it had some scandalous details in it. He also mentioned that Father Matthias had a copy and was looking for another to verify its contents. Do you know anything about the book? I've heard of it, but I have never read it, and I know little about its contents. The subject is broad, but I believe the book deals specifically with the Roman occupation of this land. What about that could have upset Father Matthias so much? I can't claim any deep insights into the former abbot's mind. I understand him to be a virtuous and charitable man, sometimes to a fault. It is not always best when an abbot considers himself a friend to his brothers instead of a shepherd. Something in the book how led Father Matthias to a crisis of virtue? Virtue is only found in a crisis. Without it, virtues are little more than ideals. So perhaps there is merit in that idea. Well, I must be off to Mass. Thank you again for your help, Andreas. Wait, how will I get to the church if you can't enter the scriptorium? I thought this was the only door into the library. We are standing in the oldest part of the abbey, and like any old place, it has its share of secrets. Good day, Andreas. God be with you. That's the bell for Sext. The brothers will be sitting down for dinner soon. Sext, monastic hour corresponding to noon, one of the little hours of prayer, followed by dinner. I should see if Otto is around and still wants to eat with me. I think he's walking by the guest house below the abbey. There's hour 9. Clara kindly gave me some food for dinner. I should see if Otto and Endris are around. Otto is walking below the abbey between the guest house and the abbot's house. Sister Illuminata of Perugia. Librarian and future prioress of Kiersau Abbey. Sister Illuminata is responsible for the contents of Kiersau's library, and she oversees the work of Sister Esdina. She will one day take her place. Illuminata is known for her great intelligence and expansive education. Brother Guy of Dijon, a Burgundian scribe. Brother Guy is respected for his swift hand, but generally disliked for his mean spirit and two-faced psychopathic behavior. Father Gurnet entrusts Guy with writing the abbey's most important documents. Brother Adoc of St. Ives, elder scribe of Kiersau's scriptorium, known for his beautiful handwriting and love for anagrams and fish. I wonder what Pierre Ferenc was doing with this book. From the library of the University of Five Churches. The Hungarians call it Pex. That's where Ferenc is from. Doctor of Theology Georg of Gran.
friend of his. The Speculum Astronomiae. Albertus Magnus' Defense of Astrology. Albertus Magnus, renowned 13th century Dominican theologian, philosopher, astrologer, and bishop of Regensburg. A prolific writer, he was known primarily for his work on Aristotle and his knowledge of natural science. Sloppy booklet could have been produced by an abbey of note. It's definitely Ferenc's handwriting between the lines and in the margins. Is he notating the text for the university and Bex? I guess it's a thorough commentary. What's this? It looks scribbled, not like Ferenc to be so sloppy, and he didn't even blot the ink dry. Libra, Capricorn, Aries, all astrological symbols. What's written below? Greek to be so. Os, Goexo? That doesn't make any sense. That's not even a word, just a jumble of letters. This must be some kind of cipher. What's the key? I suppose I'll figure it out in due time, but I'll copy this all down to reference later. Ja siitä jatketaan ensi kerralla. Last set 4 minutes ago. Jos mä tulen ulos, niin tallentaako tää? Kyllä. Joo. En yhtään tiedä, että milloin seuraavan kerran striimaan. Mahdollisesti huomenna, jos mä sen heti aamusta intoudun pelaamaan. Mutta toivottavasti viimeistään sunnuntaina. Kyllä mä tänne ainakin toisen striimin verran annan mahdollisuutta. Se on alkupuolella tapahtunut niin hirveästi mitään kommentoimisen arvosta. Tämä oli tosiaan pelkkää lukemista enimmäkseen. Mutta ehkä sitten kun tämä alkaa tästä vähän edetä tämä peli. Selkeästi paljon just tästä esittelyä tää alku. Mutta joo. Kiitoksia nyt mukana olleille ja näkyilemisiin. Hyvää perjantai-iltaa myös.